Toronto partying into the wee hours of the morning at a favorite watering hole is a tradition generally reserved for New Year's Eve and other very special occasions. Some night owls like Spencer Sutherland would like to be able to do that all year round, and he's leading a charge to push last call in Toronto well past 2 a.m. The music venue owner notes the City of Toronto has the authority to change hours of alcohol service when it deems appropriate, although it's only done that twice, both for sporting events and both to extend hours earlier in the morning, not later. Sutherland says Toronto can push last call to 4 a.m. if it really wants to, arguing that a 2 a.m. limit does nothing to further notions of Toronto as a world-class city with a world-class nightlife. 2 is too early, certainly compared to many other major cities in the world, says Sutherland, who runs Nocturne Nightclub and is director of the Toronto Association of Business Improvement Areas. A later close is something that is reflective of the modern big city environment that Toronto is. Canada's most populous city actually does get to party late fairly regularly. The Ontario government allows select establishments to close at 4 a.m. during special events. Over the past year, that included Indie Week, Nuit Blanche, the Toronto Women's Fashion Week, Toronto International Film Festival, NXNE, Pride, Canadian Music Week and Toronto Men's Fashion Week. The 2 times Toronto overruled provincial laws was during the World Cup in 2010, when it allowed soccer fans to cheer their team with a beer at 10 a.m., an hour earlier than usually permitted, and the UEFA European Championship in 2016, when bar service could open at 9 a.m. Most provinces in Canada limit alcohol service to 2 a.m. But some municipalities have the power to either shorten or extend that time as they see fit. Exceptions to the provincial standard include Newfoundland and Labrador, and Quebec, where service continues until 3 a.m. Ontario does allow liquor sales until 3 a.m. on New Year's Eve. Meanwhile, Nova Scotia allows outlets with a cabaret license to serve until 3:30 a.m., but other taverns, clubs, bars and lounges must stop alcohol service by 2 a.m. There could be some economic benefit to longer hours, says Jeff Wilson, a consultant to the hospitality industry who notes that today's youth tend to go out later in the evening. They're having a pre-party before they go out because it's cheaper to purchase their own alcohol and have a few drinks at home, says Wilson, a principal at the firm FS Strategy Incorporated. They're not getting out until 10:30, 11 o'clock. The clubs really don't get busy until those time periods. Extending last call means that the operator has an opportunity to leverage more sales. Still, businesses need to determine at what point their alcohol sales start declining and people just start nursing their drink. Then there's the cost of increased labor, heat and utilities. The savvy operator has got to figure out, when does it make sense to close? Wilson adds. Of course, many residents near bars and restaurants see little benefit to extended drinking hours, with community organizations routinely warning of increased noise, crime and chaos.